If we can improve people's quality of life for 6 months, so that's 6 months longer that they're living in the community before they need to have high levels of care, which becomes distressing to the family and very expensive, we can save all that extra burden, and we can save, by the way, billions of dollars. And it's only because of the research that HMRI is supporting that we're able to bring that clinical trial here to the Hunter. We've been more successful and for less money than nearly every other site in Australia because of, the passion that my research group have in this space.
All right, we don't have a good treatment for dementia now, but we need to find one. So the people coming after us will have a treatment, and then they won't have to suffer, and their families don't have to suffer and watch their loved one fade away.
It's actually looking at people who are cognitively healthy, currently cognitively healthy, but have started to accumulate amyloid in their brain.
So all of us have amyloid in the brain, and it's usually cleared, particularly during sleep. In people who are developing Alzheimer's disease in particular, the clearance is slower than the build-up. So over many years, amyloid begins to accumulate. And the theory is early in the disease, if you can remove the amyloid, then you can prevent the downstream destructive effects. So there were 2 extremely exciting clinical trials that were published in the last 2 years, one on an agent called Lecanemab and one on donanemab, where they showed not only did amyloid get removed, but people's cognitive decline slowed by up to 40%. What we don't know is, do we prevent Alzheimer's disease in those people who are still healthy? That's what we're doing with Margaret and her twin sister here.
We've been involved in twin studies, asthma, breast cancer, anything else they would send us, and it came through on the emails from twin studies that the study was on. So we said, oh yeah, we'll go and do that.
For the first visit, we take blood, we do a very comprehensive neuropsychological assessment, which I do, and then we also do an MRI. And then on the second day, people go to the Carimata Hospital and have a PET scan. So this PET scan is then used to see whether or not they reach a certain threshold of amyloid burden.
We found out that we had the high amyloid, so yeah, then we fitted the criteria to proceed in the study.
There's a number of tests. The most important are cognitive tests, thinking and memory tests, over many different cognitive domains: working memory, problem solving, long-term memory, and language functions. So these are done repeatedly during the trial. I think if the trial goes well, it'll be something like we see for breast cancer, bowel cancer. At about the age of 50 or maybe earlier, you'll be invited to have a blood test or a spit test. And just as we do preventative treatments for bowel cancer and breast cancer, there's a high probability to have preventative treatments for Alzheimer's disease.
We're winning with some of the cancers. We need to get on top of this dementia, because this one we're not winning. There's so many more people getting it, and if we don't get donations, we can't keep finding a cure for it.
And a lot of the time this philanthropic support allows us to do really exciting discovery projects that aren't necessarily easily funded from the big national funding schemes, where everything has to be safe and feasible and secure. And it always amazes me and inspires me when people give part of their wealth to medical research, because it's not necessarily going to benefit them. It may benefit their family in future years, but it's very generous, and so I'd like to thank those people.